Deck. Who do you know? Well, I've seen a couple, so I can't say I'm not the only one. But I'm one of the few with a van and a deck. I figured a couple people can put up sleeping pads up here and sleep when we're traveling with the dirt bike and all. And we can go on the road and have our stuff, our gear bags and everything laid down, and or one of those bags, and then throw everything inside the bag so it's waterproofed or whatever, and head on down the road. And then the van won't be as packed, and we can fit more people in the van, or I can take my trailer, and then we got 2 bikes on the trailer and more storage, and we got all kinds of options if anybody wants to go with. So hit me up. Tours aren't very expensive compared to most people. So yeah, hit me up. I got a white bar. We can go spotlighting or whatever you want to do, man. Go take pictures. And that's another thing that I figured out too that I can do. I can take my camera, my solo shot, and put it up here on my platform at the track, and I can videotape me from the top of my van. Like, I didn't even think about that until I was talking with Dave with Faith Culture about it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I just realized I could do this. But this is my favorite part of the van. It used to be the TV and like my little power port, having like power in the van and everything. Now it's just a deck. Like, I sat up and like sitting up here until 2 in the morning, just chilling on my deck. But yeah, I'm curious to see how warm that water is with that solar shower. Even if it's lukewarm, like, heck, even if it's cold on a hot day, I'd rather have cold water some days. Maybe I'll put make a white one and have a cold water, warm water, rinse off. Alrighty. Yeah, I centered this a little bit more than it was. I had it completely over, and I didn't feel like it needed to be, so I think it looked a little bit better centered, and then it looked really bare until I got the shower on there. Once I got the shower on, everything was a lot better. It kind of all looked and meshed decent. So yeah, it looks like I need an air compressor and some hitch pins. But yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. All I did was made the frame first, then measured and drilled down and bolted on the wood like you would any deck. After I made the frame, bolted the frame on, of course. These are just little U-bolts. This was the hardest part, was like, maybe I should have probably like moved this over here and planned the ladder rack a little bit better, but like I had to put the ladder rack on first to see how long or what kind of look I wanted for the van. So then I found the look, and then I wanted to make this really easy to make square, and because I don't have like a nice little chop saw grinder or anything to make everything like nice and straight and like a real fab should, because like I did this all on a budget. I'm not gonna go buy a bunch of tools. So I just used straight 6-footers by 4-footers, and it worked out perfect. And then the other rods were 6-footers. They slide right in, 3/4 inch. This is 1-inch tubing. Don't get it at Home Depot. Go to a steel supplier, because Home Depot you're gonna pay 3 times as much for anything. F that place. And plus you're not gonna get the help that you want either. The plumbing, I went to a plumbing supply store instead of Home Depot. They helped me out, and they actually walked through the store and picked out each single part for me. They're like, well, this is going to work for your application that you want. Well, no, you can't use this like you planned. You got to use this. So originally what I thought wasn't going to work. So I used industrial heavy-duty electrical cable ties that are UV resistant, so they won't get brittle in the sun and everything on that pipe or melt, so it can withstand a lot of stuff. So I put 3 of them on there so that thing won't shift around. The pipe still spins, but it won't slide out or anything. I didn't want to do U-bolts. U-bolts were kind of expensive, So, and I don't think I could have got the U-bolts on there how I wanted to, or I'd have to make a bracket underneath and everything, and just more money and more pain in the butt. So I wanted something simple, and these zip ties hook into the ladder rack worked out great. I just crisscrossed them and then put one in the, like, one over it, so worked out good. Yeah, next will be a ladder. I'm gonna get a ladder and then paint it, or get it powder coated black, or I'm gonna just use that Flex or Rhino liner or whatever, and put that on the back of the van so I can get up to my deck instead of climbing like I have to. So I'll stop rambling. If you have any questions about anything that I made, about the canopy, about the deck, about shower, TV, the solar power thing that I have, the generator, it's pretty self-explanatory. It's just a solar powered generator, and then I'm going to put the solar panels up here when I'm parked. No big deal. But yeah, that's basically it. I got a light bar. If you got any questions, you can kind of see I gotta go back up and clean up some of the silicone overspray, or the over mess. But yeah, that's that. The light bar. It's bright, awesome. Yeah, let me know. Oh, something must have kicked it off. Okay, that's fine. Okay. So, I'm testing out everything. I'm testing this Goal Zero. I guess I can make this a review for it as well. I'm testing out my shower with an air compressor, and then I'm trying to figure out how many watts I'm running with an average of what I'm doing. Like, the only thing I use my PlayStation for is like movies, and I used to use my laptop for that, but it's just convenient, and if I could use this at night and stuff instead of running the generator the whole night and then worrying about like other people hearing it and everything, it would just ease my mind, and I could sleep a lot better. And then I can, because I sleep to TV or music or something, and to try to turn off my brain and everything or something, or try to not to just ramble on and think and think and think and think and think and not sleep. So yeah, I got my air compressor just sitting up there. It does not run off of this Goal Zero, because that's like 15.5 amps or something like that, so it won't even run off the 400 watt, which makes sense. It's an air compressor. So I'm gonna hook up the hose, I'm gonna kick it on, and I'm gonna see if the shower works at a slant down. I don't know if the water will push out with the air being there, or if the air is just gonna push out and I have to be at a slant. So I'm gonna test that out. Just a work in progress. I got the PlayStation running, I got the TV running, I got my solar panel in so I could see how much. It's a 50 watt panel, I guess. It came with the system. So I'm right now in this sunlight, I'm pulling about 35 watts through the solar panel. Maybe if it was, I don't know, I put it up on the roof and I was pulling about a little bit less than that too, so I don't know if I laid it down. I don't think it would help much, but it's not doing too bad. 35 plus it's charging. I'm only using 155 watts right now, which is pretty cool. I know I'm not going to be able to use my heater because that's 1500 watts. So I looked up, I read a thing on some guy that he hooked up 2 batteries and then he hooked up another inverter, and so he could run like 2000 watts or whatever of power, like for a big supply. And then I'm curious if this will charge those batteries and allow that inverter to run and not blow up a system or anything like that, because Goal Zero said hook up the inverter straight to the batteries. So I'm curious, like, how they meant, like, if he's got 1 battery over here and 2 batteries over here, and then where do you hook up the inverter? Like, will the whole system run through that inverter? So I'm kind of curious with Goal Zero and everything, and I got the heat on the canopy. You can see what it looks like now when the canopy is not up. All that sunshade is going inside my van. So before it didn't really give ground shade, but it gave all that inside the van, so it's not becoming an oven or anything. Like my PlayStation's starting to really heat up here, and I want to make it kind of run at peak power and everything to see what amperage and everything's kind of running. It's the only bad thing about MotoVan is everything gets pretty dusty. So let's see if we can. Where's the end of the cable here that I got? Oh, there she's hanging. Come on out. We'll go one more, I guess. Woo! I bet that, yeah, that's at 200 watts almost. She's probably gonna kick off because it's so hot. Sorry. Alright. So boom. The TV's working, the PlayStation's working. We're running at 180 watts with 35 watts in the solar power. So I wonder if it's not pulling too much off of the battery and it's using the solar power. I don't know how this works. They say it's a full-in controller, so I hope that's how it works and it's not running too much off the battery. Because I want to like make up the system where I can just pull out the solar panel, hook it into like the cable where this is in the battery box, and just plug it in after I pull it out and run it like this, and then have like, I guess, a cord coming out the back. I guess that would work too. I'm gonna have to figure that out. Work in progress as well too. Alright, so that's one test done. Next is the shower. Stay tuned. Alright, so it leaks out of the top, right? But if it works, what's up? But the thing is you gotta have it on level ground. So maybe more Teflon up there too in the future. But other than that, and the water, it's hot. Yeah, it's pretty warm. Definitely hot enough for a shower. So never mind on the cold water. You just set it on mist, and you got a whole mister, dude. Oh, I'm getting the camera all wet. Perfect. I got a mister. Woo. And it's cold. Feels good with a little bit of wind. Oh, it's perfect. I don't care if I'm getting the camera wet. So don't need a cold one. And then you just turn to shower when you want the hot water. Okay, I'll show you guys how the canopy goes in and out and how easy it is, and I think it's pretty efficient. So hopefully you can see with this camera angle. This is a painter's floor canvas that I just put some grommets in, and used to make my like own sign or something and painted it, or use Sharpies and stuff and put my like wannabe brand on it back when I was selling art and stuff in college, trying to make a little beer money. But yes, that's the canvas. I'm just gonna wrap these around so they don't get lost, and then throw it in the van. I need to get hitch pins, but other than that, she's back in. Done.